Can you believe Channel 9's The Block has been running for 16 seasons? The popular reality TV show is still going strong, beating all newcomers. Scott Cam is the host of the show and he joins us now. Scott, welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Thank you, guys. Very much a pleasure to be here. It's a bit odd how we're doing it, but
Well, odd describes our show, so that's right at home for us, but nice to be beaming from your home. Look, each year when the show comes back, can you believe how popular The Block remains?
look, I think that we're pretty lucky when it comes to that. We try and mix it up every year and do something a little bit different as we're doing different decades this year. And I think we just sort of, produce some good family-friendly shows that mum, dad and the three kids can sit down and take a look at together. And I think that might be, what people like about our show, that they know what they're going to get mostly each year.
Absolutely. And look, you've got to say it's impressive when you consider other shows like My Kitchen Rules and House Rules have failed to find an audience this year, but The Block, which is a heritage brand, continues to thrive, not just survive, but thrive. You guys are killing it.
Yeah, look, I think that the other guys, as you said, MKR and those other shows, they still do a great job as well. And sometimes, people mix it up a bit and that, could happen to us as well. Everybody tries to put in good television these days. But The Block, I suppose, is one of those staples that people love to come home on a Sunday night and watch and get into and invest in. We just try and make it pretty lighthearted. Although last year was a little bit grumpy, it was a bit of a too big a bill. But I think this year it's nice and friendly, considering what we're going through at the moment all around the world.
Well, let's talk about that, Scott. How has COVID affected production, and how has the team handled it?
Yeah, look, it's been tough for everybody right around the country. But we started back in sort of February. And then we did 5 weeks of work, and then obviously we didn't know what was going to happen. It was a bit up in the air, and people didn't know, what was happening around the world. And then when London shut down without notice and locked everyone up, like Victoria's going through right now, we just went, okay, well, this is fair. We don't know what to do now because no one really knew what the future held. So we had all those contestants and our crew and everybody like that. So we sent everybody home. We shut down the whole show, shut down the production, which was a big decision because we put a lot of people out of work for the 6 weeks that we were shut down. So we didn't take it lightly, but it was all about safety, all about keeping our people safe. So we shut down for 6 weeks, and then we came up with a plan how to come back, which we did. We built a clinic on site. We had a full-time nurse, Christine, who was there every day, and she temperature checked and gave flu shots to everybody and checked on their health. We also had a mental health people coming around and checking on everybody when we came back. And so we got all that things in place, and then we came back for 2 months and shot the show and finished it, and full credit to everybody because they stuck to that plan. And then we made it by about 6 days before a full lockdown in Victoria again. So
Amazing.
We just scraped in.
That is amazing. So how will this affect sales this year?
Well, look, the auction's in mid-November. We're not sure. We haven't really got a plan B. We're going to cross that bridge when we get there. We might be doing it exactly like how we're talking right now, boys. So we're not
Sure.
we're not sure how.
Just give us a call, Scott. We'll make it work for you.
What's that?
Give us a call. We'll run the auctions for you on the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic, mate. We could use some help with that. I tell you what. I think if it ends up being a Zoom auction, I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know how that's going to look. Anyway, as my executive producer and I, we said on the phone to each other the other day, like that, if we're in lockdown and in mid-November in Victoria, we've got more problems than our auction.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a fairly good point. Look, it's unusual for people to do a job for as long as you have. And the thing I really like about you is, unlike sometimes other hosts that seem to sort of wear and tear, and you can sort of see them being a little bit less interested, how have you managed to always remain so excited about being on The Block?
Well, I think that for me, the building industry is my great love. I've been doing it since I was 17. I've been a carpenter all my life. And I'm sort of mixing up my two great loves every day at work, which is building and TV. And I didn't really know that TV was a great love of mine, but I've been in it for 20 years now. I do love it. And so I get to do telly and I get to do building stuff. and mucking around with tools and stuff like that every day. So it's really good fun to go to work. And more importantly, I'm not on the nail bag myself like I was for 40 years. So that's even more fun, not strapping on a nail bag or climbing up onto the roof, right, which I'm getting a bit old for that now. I'm 58 in a couple of months, boys, so I've done my time on the nail bag.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, these Sunday night room reveals are amazing. I felt absolutely inspired by them, to tell you the truth. In the history of the block, whose renovations have stuck with you the most? And have you ever used one of the contestants' ideas in your own home?
Yeah, funny, there's been some standouts over the years. They've all been fantastic because I know how hard the block is to build and do for 3 months. So everybody's joints have always been good. Kyle and Cara, back in the day, they were on they were fantastic, and they did some really beautiful carpentry work. I suppose the carpentry stuff sticks out for me, and Kyle's a really good carpenter, and he does great work. And I have copied a bathroom. I built a house up the bush. I've got a place in Mudgee in New South Wales, and I copied one of the winning bathrooms, basically to a T. Same tiles, same vanity, same everything, because it was a winning bathroom. So I just copied that and just whacked it straight in my ensuite that I built up there. So it was pretty easy. I didn't have to make
You got to tell us. Can you remember
I'm not telling you
bathroom
who.
it was?
Oh, Scott.
Scotty, what's the point? We need the tea. You need
I will tell you. It was the Fans versus Faves, which was in Albert Park at Duck's house. It was the old picture theatre there. And we had, I don't know if you remember this, but we had some old contestants go up against some new contestants. So Fans versus Faves. And it was Brad and Dale. You remember Brad and Dale? It was their winning bathroom, their winning ensuite. I quite liked it. I liked the timber top. So, and at the same time, I was building this house back in Mudgee. So when I went home, I just copied their bathroom.
Tell me this isn't true, but there is speculation that you might be putting the tools down even on the telly. Will this be your last season of the block, or will you be back? Tell us you'll be back.
No, it's not my last season of the block. I hope not. Well, maybe you've heard some info that I haven't.
No.
No, I'm not retiring. I've got a few more years left in me. I'm going all right, and I'm still on the nail bag. I still work and I get on the tools. I just been up the bush the last couple of days, and I was had the nail bag on. So I still love doing the trade, but just not for other people.
Yep.
I like doing it for myself.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yep.
Hey, Scott, you've been in the industry a very long time. You're loved by the viewing audience. Just recently, you got into the dirty, dirty side of politics, and you did a little bit of government work. Were you surprised at how nasty it is when you're used as a political football?
Well, look, mate, I've actually worked for both sides of government for many years.
Right.
I'm a specialist awareness ambassador. I've worked for Bill Shorten on that side. I've worked for asbestos awareness on the Liberal side as well. I've also worked as apprenticeship ambassador and promoting apprenticeships for people to put them on and for kids to be apprentices. I've done that for like 10 years for nothing. And then all of a sudden, the present government, everybody thinks I'm I'm taking sides. All I want to do is get kids into apprenticeships. That's the name of the game for me. And so they offered me quite a major role, travelling around the country, taking up a lot of time and things like that. So, I said, because I had been working for nothing for many years and just doing it on the side, And anyway, I'm still doing it. We didn't accept the second half of the payment because of COVID. We couldn't fulfil the obligations that we had, so
Sure.
I didn't get involved in the monetary side. But I'm still doing the work that they're asking me to do besides the public appearances and things like that. Mate, look, at the time I was surprised because all I was trying to do was get through a passionate message of mine, and it got railroaded a little bit. But
that's the point. It did get railroaded. You were used as a political football. I remember watching this play out, and I thought it reminded me, different but same. Peter Garrett going into politics, he was loved. As soon as he became in the sphere of politics, he got bashed to within an inch of his life. And that's what it felt like was happening with you. No matter what good you try to do, they will come after you if you're perceived as being on the wrong side, won't they?
Yeah, look, a little bit of that. I think that people were just, I don't know why. I regret the way I handled it. I've never been in an aggressive interview before, and I had one of those. It was getting off topic. It was, I wanted to talk about something I'm really passionate about, and we were talking about something that everybody already knew about, which was the money that was involved.
Yeah.
And that was already in the public, domain. So everyone, I don't know why we're talking, but I handled it really badly. I should have just stayed on topic, but I wasn't ready for a political interview like that. I don't think I'll get involved to that level ever again, which is unfortunate. I'll still work hard and passionately about getting young kids informed about what's available in the apprenticeship side of things. There's over 400 different apprenticeships that you can do, and it's about educating parents to steer their children into like a vet program, which is an apprenticeship basically. Because parents, I think, are very pushy to get their kids into university as a be-all and end-all. And there's so many things that they can do outside of university to get a great trade or a great career through a vet training. And that's what I, really love. And I've got to get people to take apprentices on as well. That's the other message I want to get across. And so we do that all the time. I'm placing a boy at the moment. I'm trying to find him a school-based apprenticeship. So I get people that ring me up and then I'll go on the hunt and try and find them an apprenticeship. I've just made a couple of calls yesterday hoping to get this boy placed who's a local kid, and there's another one that I'm trying to find apprenticeships for. So if you want to take on an apprentice, please give me a call. I've got a few boys lined up that and girls, of course, that would love to be trained by you.
Oh, I'm glad you're still putting in that effort. That's awesome. There, nice work.
I'm going to ask you a little bit about how we can get in contact with Scotty Cam, because I can imagine people watching this right now thinks, how can they just give you a tinkle on the phone? But I want to also talk to you about this season of The Block, which, can I just say, I've been off The Block for a couple of years and I've come back this season, and I tell you what, I'm absolutely loving it. There's been a winning streak, and we saw that last night continue. Do you think these guys are going to be able to continue with that winning streak with Master Bedrooms coming up this Sunday?
Yeah, well, look, Jimmy and Tam are incredible, 3 on the trot, and they've got such a terrific attitude to this. They work hard, they project manage so beautifully, and they do it with a smile on their face, and they really get in there and have a crack. And that's how you got to do The Block, You can't put excuses to air, as we say. You just, you can't blame anybody but yourself when you're on The Block. So you've got a job to do, and Jimmy and Tam have got in there for the last 3 weeks and done it, and they've won 3 in a row. The way they look, they can continue this. We'll have to see how it plays out. And to answer to your other question, I have a website, scottycam.com.au, and you can leave a message for me on that website, which gets looked at every day.
Scott, you are an absolute legend. We have appreciated you being on the Ben, Rob and Robbo show today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, guys. It's not often you get to do an interview with thongs on, too.
The boys are wearing pants, so it's fine. The boys are never wearing pants. Well, they're wearing...
don't get us to stand up. Thank you, Scott. And don't forget, The Block continues tonight, 7:30. Scott Cam, thank you again for your time.
Thanks, guys. All the best.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.